Hello, everybody. It's 9:22 a.m. Central Time on the 14th of May, 2018. Hope you're doing well. Just jumping on here. Been having a good morning. Had a QNN morning, which is kind of fun. Don't normally get to do all that. So, got to talk with people around the world about other topics not related to earthquake. Well, actually, I just got done talking about a little earthquake activity, but figure I'd get on here and do a little update for us. Guys, we've got some activity to talk to you about here over on the western portion. I would call this northwest portion of the Craton, even though it's in Montana in the Intermountain States. We have a 3.7 coming in towards Yellowstone, and that's following or at about the same time. Let's get the time on that. 11:11. Are you serious? Hold on. 11:11 UTC time, the 3.7 struck, and the 3.1 at 8:44. So about 3 hours apart, two different threes. So first, really technically, this one struck on the coast, 8:44. Then 11:11. A few hours later, over in the Midwest, we are swarming out. And we got another earthquake that struck this morning, 4.1, second earthquake, just as we told you that this was going to be spreading out and causing new 4.0 activity in what I call a super fracture. And super fracture is a term I had to come up with. I had to actually come up with a term to describe something I was observing, while everybody else, including professionals, was denying that earthquakes of any significant size could be caused by fracking or oil pumping, wastewater injection, and so forth. And what I noticed was that when a 4.0 would strike or greater, that within a few days, other 4.0s would strike, not as an aftershock, but at other nearby wells. And it would spread out like a crack in the windshield over the course of days and weeks, and we would see an increase in intensity as new pressure comes in from the west coast. And we're not let down again today. It happened just as expected. We got a 4.1 on top of yesterday's 4.0 and a subsequent swarm of threes. And again, at different little nearby wells, all within a few thousand feet, a few hundred feet of one another. When we go over on the west coast, though, oh, you know what? I said this 3.1. I really meant to say this 3.1 and 3.2. 3.1 struck at 8:44. 3.2 struck at 8:15. Did they just add that on? No, it was there. Okay, so really, this one struck first, then this one, then this one. And that's what's... Is this a separate earthquake? 2 minutes apart, a 3.7 and a 3.5. Okay, so we have two different earthquakes there. If you take that and add it together, it equals 3.85. And what else is going on? That's it for the United States. Larger earthquake-wise that people can feel. Let's go down and look at the swarms really quick. Everything that's happened since last night. So this is just going to show us the last 12 hours of smaller earthquakes. Yeah. Hey. Okay, this is not a scam. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a funny joke. So here we are. We have a 1.6 and a small microquake striking over on the New Madrid seismic zone. It's the first of probably what's going to be going up to threes over the next few days. And this is reported by the USGS, so we know it's legit. We can open up the information and see it here. So we have a 1.6, 1.7 at the Missouri-Tennessee border, right in the middle of the New Madrid seismic zone. Where did it come from? Yesterday. Yesterday we got a 4. Today we got another 4. I think this is going to be going up in the New Madrid over the next few days. Looking at the microquakes on the west coast since last night. This is all since last night at 10 p.m. So 12 hours. We can see we have equal amount of distribution across California on both sides of California, the coast and the Nevada border, going down to, we're back to Anza Gap. Anza Gap is now picking back up, whereas yesterday it was down here at Salton Sea. Yeah, with two new threes up here off the coast. I wonder if these are larger. I mean, you know, since we've got larger activity striking in the Midwest, I just want to go see what we've got here. Hold on. What does the USGS have for magnitude information on this? Throughout the lows, throughout the highs, that's their low ball list. Highest we're going is 3.6. Throw that out. Lowest we're going is a half magnitude. Throw that out. And that would give us a mid-range 3. Okay, it's pretty accurate. Hey, I'm not here to bust on the USGS anymore. I'm going to start giving them a little bit of slack and leeway. I think they're operating under some strict rules, quite frankly. What else is going on in the U.S.? That's about it right now. As we go across over to Hawaii, we've got ourselves a little bit of a situation developing, guys. Another earthquake has struck next to Mauna Kea, in between Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea, on top of the other earthquake which struck at Mauna Kea, and the other earthquake which struck at Mauna Loa, and this one just struck at 2.4 magnitude today. We'll pull the coordinates and go put them in on Google Earth to show you Mauna Kea. Now, here's the deal about Mauna Kea. It was supposedly stable enough to be building observatories for solar and space observation. Let's go ahead and put in the coordinates and show you what's there. How many different telescopes and scientific facilities they built at the top of this volcano that was supposedly stable and not going to show any signs of eruption. Well, here it is. So we'll zoom in a little bit more, and you'll see here are our observatories, and here is Mauna Kea. And last night, the earthquake struck here on the western side. Today, it's striking on the southeastern side. Well, you know what's in between the two, right? Many fracture points where magma has come up in the past. So Mauna Kea, there's something going on, and a new development today here. See this? 17 kilometers north of Pahala, Hawaii. We'll put the coordinates in and show you what's there. Where are we going in on, guys? We're on the flanks of Mauna Loa, and we got ourselves a swarm going on there now. It's not just one earthquake like it was yesterday. So Mauna Kea is moving, and Mauna Loa is moving, and Kilauea already drained, and Pu'uorai already collapsed, and we've got ourselves a situation along the coast where all the earthquakes have developed over the last several days, indicating that there's flowage, magma coming out as lava on the seafloor, and that's where we're getting most of our release. Now there's, 18 or maybe even 19 now, different fissures that have opened in the Lalani Estates area, which is just east of all this. Here's Mauna Loa, here's Mauna Kea, here is Kilauea, and here is Pu'uo'o. Pu'uo'o fully collapsed. It doesn't even look like this anymore. It's now a huge crater in the ground. This is lava dome that you see there. And Lalani Estates is here. So there's pools of magma that are obviously down below, but most of it must be forcing out along the coast out to sea, which is given away by all the earthquakes out there. The fact that something else is going on at the volcanoes there is concerning. Nobody else is talking about it. I wish they would, so I wouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Let's go into the Caribbean and talk about this. Look, Leeward Islands going into the Virgin Islands, 4.0 earthquake. Boom. Now that's a magnitude less than what we were expecting, but that's just day one of the forecast here. That's an obvious sign of pressure transferring over to the east. Down to the south, Bolivia's border struck with Argentina and North Chile, 4.2. Coming in at 237 kilometers deep, so that's a deep earthquake. And that's on top of the other deep earthquakes that happened yesterday. Now this is just a 24-hour feed we're looking at here. So let's turn back on our 7-day feed. Let's wait for it. There we are. Now you'll be able to see our other deep earthquakes that are at 400 and 600 kilometers deep over here. So 4 and 6 here, 200 here. Really, it's 2, 4, 6. There's something going on down below the plates at 200 to 600 kilometers below. As we get over into the West Pacific, our deep earthquakes yesterday, right here at the pinnacle of our fulcrum point, at the mouth of the Solomon Islands, a new 4.6, maybe even larger earthquake, maybe 4.9. Down in New Zealand, on both sides. Look at this. Same-sized earthquakes, 3.4, 3.4. Right in the middle, nestled right in between Wellington. Wellington, we talked about Wellington in the forecast, 3.2. So you're in between the two locations. As we go up towards Japan since last night, coast of Honshu, right next to Fukushima Prefecture. Well, actually, that's a little bit further south, but right there, coast of Honshu, 5.0. Where did that come from? Well, we told you, the deep earthquake that happened yesterday. deep 4.2 is going to be causing a shallow 5 next to it, right? We talked about this up here to the north, right? There it is. What else is going on? Oh, over in Europe, finally, you guys got hit. 4.1 coming right at the border of Albania and Greece. This means we're going to see activity go up to the west-northwest. Europe's on the move finally, and Italy, it is on your doorstep. It's even a little bit further away than I was expecting. I was expecting we were going to see activity here, but came right around the corner and is up on your doorsteps, coming up to knock. And we have a halfway point between what happened yesterday in Germany, by the way. Is that even on here? Okay, well, they don't have that on here anymore. It's over 50 earthquakes away. The European feed only shows USGS did not show it. How about that? So just imagine the halfway point between this 3.7 and this 4.1 going down around the bend of the plate here where it's brown. That's the Alps, and then coming around through Italy and then going down across over to this 4.1. And then you'll find our halfway point between those two zones comes in here just north of Norcia. Norcia is central Italy, in case you don't know. And I think that's all we have, except for a few new earthquakes near 4.0, striking back at the Czech-German border at the Cheb volcanic basin, which is an ancient Miocene to Pleistocene series of volcanoes, a volcanic field right there at the location. So it's all moving, and it's all moving right now. What more do you have to see? A new 4.0 earthquake struck this morning in Oklahoma at what? 2:25 a.m. So that'll wake you up, won't it? Rumble, rumble, rumble. Something breaks, falls off a shelf. You're like, what was that? And it's like, oh, there's the other earthquake that Dutch was talking about. Well, there it is. And I don't mean to laugh or chuckle. It's not a laughing matter, actually. But it's just, there it is. I mean, to me, it's like, okay, we warned you about that. There it is. What more can I tell you? I've been doing this for 8 years, and people keep wanting to ignore it. Professionals keep trying to deny it. And it's asinine because it's just happened again. Right before your eyes. You don't even need me to almost explain it to you. If you're a longtime viewer, you see this happening. Oh, new earthquake just struck in Hawaii. What do we got? Ooh, 3.5 and a 4.3 just struck. So, looks like magnitudes are increasing. 3.5 actually striking in between Pu'u'o'o and Lalani Estates. That might be a new fissure opening, believe it or not. Or current fissure ongoing and tearing. USGS, oh, by the way, USGS announced a new fissure open that was several hundred yards long yesterday. So several 100-yard long fissure open. Now they're opening and closing, so they'll open, release the magma contents of whatever's building up underneath, and then move on. And new magma is coming into the area from Kilauea draining. How far? I don't know. I don't think anybody will know for a while. Maybe they will release the numbers. I guess they would have to have some kind of laser altimeter of some kind to get down in there and see how far down the lava lake has drained. Again, I don't know of a way to measure a magma chamber that drains down that far. You're not going to do it with a tape measure, that's for sure. And that's all I've got for you. So you guys, you have a good morning. And if anything big goes down, I'll be on throughout the day. Please check out my forecast. It's over on YouTube, and it's titled Global Earthquake Forecast. So it's pretty easy to find. See you later. Peace out.